The concept of a flying submarine is extremely simple. The aircraft detects a surface enemy in the air and performs a distracting maneuver, and then, having left the visual contact of the enemy, it plunges underwater and destroys the necessary target with torpedoes. After a successful or unsuccessful attack on a surface target, the submarine easily takes off from under the water and goes to the base. It was this principle of a flying submarine that was first proposed by the Soviet designer Boris Ushakov back in the 30s of the last century. Shortly before the end of World War II, around April 1945, a certain engineer Houston Harrington applied for a patent in the United States, which was called Combination of Aircraft and Submarine. The patent was issued on December 25th. But things did not go further in this direction, and the idea itself was forgotten for several years. A similar patent for a practically similar design was issued in the US as early as 1956. Its owner was the American engineer Donald Doolittle. The design of his offspring was more based on a submarine than on an aircraft, but compactly combined the qualities of both. In the Doolittle flying submarine, movement in a submerged position was provided by electric motors, and in the air by two jet engines. In 1964, the aviation company Conveir offered the leadership of the U.S. Air Force its development of a compact submarine aircraft, the concept of which was based on both the developments of Harrington and Doolittle. At that time, the development company presented the relevant documents and technical documentation to the U.S. military department, diagrams, drawings, and even several perspective drawings. The Conveir company received from the Bureau of Naval Arms the initial terms of reference, according to which the developed speed of the created submarine aircraft would be of the order of 420 kilometers per hour, a diving depth of about 460 meters, and a flight range without landing and refueling of at least 955 kilometers. Despite the clearly overstated requirements for that period, a bilateral agreement was concluded. The project implemented the idea of using fuel tanks as ballast tanks for diving, but the fuel was not drained, but pumped into reserve tanks for better balancing of the machine in a submerged position. The pilot and engine compartments were carefully sealed, and the rest of the aircraft submarine was filled with outboard water. The design of the flying submarine used the ultra-strong and ultralight materials available at the time, including titanium and its alloys. The crew of such a machine consisted of 2 people. During the project, several models were made, as well as 2 prototypes that were successfully tested. An unexpected denouement came in 1966, when the well-known odious Senator Allen Allender, who at that time served as head of the Senate Arms Committee, openly laughed at the project and imposed a resolution to stop development in this direction. The fate of the 2 prototypes and full-size models remains unknown.